Hello and welcome to a new video of this channel. I'm still working on a new name for this. My name is Andres. I'm from Sangolquí, Ecuador, and in this video I want to tell you about how I learn English. I'm a Spanish teacher and I thought this video could be interesting for my students and also for other people who want to learn a second or a third language. So let's get started. Well, when I was a high school student, I used to hate English. Why? Because it was boring. I remember we had to memorize those lists of verbs, and we had the infinitive version of the verb, and the simple past, the perfect past, the participle version of the verb, and also the Spanish translation, and it was boring. So one day that we had an exam and I didn't study, I decided to make a mini copy of that list, and I hid that copy under the sleeve of my uniform. According to me, that was the perfect plan, but it wasn't. I got really nervous, my teacher noticed something was wrong, so she was waiting behind me. I thought she was back in the classroom, but no. She was waiting behind me, and when she saw I was doing something, she just asked, "What do you have there?" And I tried to say, nothing. And of course, she wasn't an idiot or anything. So she grabbed the paper, she saw all the answers there, and she was really mad. So she took my exam, crossed it out completely with a red pen, and then she started lecturing me. She was like, "I cannot believe you're doing this, I cannot believe you cannot learn something that easy as these verbs." She was like, I am the worst student she had ever had and stuff like that. And at the end, she was like, "You won't never learn this language." And that hurt. And according to my girlfriend, something really ingrained in my personality is that I like proving people wrong. And that's exactly what I wanted to do with a teacher. So after all the things she told me in front of my whole classroom, I was like, "No, you will see, I can't learn. I will prove you wrong." So later that day, I went to a cyber cafe. I printed out the lyrics of my favorite English songs and I came back home. And with a huge red English-Spanish dictionary, I started translating every single line of those songs. So I memorized those songs, I memorized the vocabulary, and then I started somehow understanding a little bit more of the English classes at high school. So I liked how it felt. Also, I liked that I could sing my favorite English songs and actually understand what they said. So I kept doing that. Eventually, I tried to translate the paragraphs we had in our English textbook. And surprisingly, that helped even more to learn to improve my English skills in that class. So I understood better what the teacher was saying, understood better the question she asked us in the test and everything. So even she was surprised because over the next year, I went from being the worst student in the class to being the best one, at least in my class. I don't know in the other ones. And the teacher was surprised and she was like, "The only thing you needed was someone telling you that you can't." And I think she was right. And it wasn't a really good experience. I did not enjoy it at all, but I think it worked because probably without my teacher telling me all those things, I would have never learned English. Now, I'm a Spanish teacher for English-speaking people. I also teach some English classes here locally to people who want to learn the language. So I think it was worth going through that experience back in high school. But of course, that's not everything. Because when you finish high school, in most cases, it doesn't matter if you're the best student in the class, you don't know enough English to actually talk to people in real world. So I realized that once when I went to a language exchange group in Quito, because I was like, I know English, I was the best student in my class. And what happened is completely the opposite. I tried to talk to native English speaking people there, and I couldn't understand what they say. When they asked some questions, I couldn't think in an English version of the answer in my mind. So it was really frustrating. I had to ask people there, Spanish-speaking people, to translate the conversation for me. And although it was kind of bad, the feeling I had there, it was also good because that motivated me to keep learning. So what I did, Duolingo for several months. After Duolingo, Memrise, another app for language learners. And something that I found really useful is that I started reading blog articles, small ones, about topics that I find interesting. So what I used to do was exactly what I did with songs. I used to translate those articles, and all the words that were new to me, I used to make flashcards with them and study them every single day. So my vocabulary, my understanding of grammar, and my English in general was improving like little by little, but all the time, constantly. So one day I found an American nonprofit here in my city where they offer this English conversation club, where local people could go there and practice with English speakers our English skills. So I started going there. I had like really basic conversations, but I don't know how. Eventually, I became friends with people in the nonprofit, and I also started like helping them. I started volunteering in the same organization, and eventually even teaching some classes there. So that meant I spent a lot of time with American people living here in Ecuador. So I think that was key in this case because I could practice almost every day. And that constant practice, plus the other things I used to do, like Duolingo, Memrise, reading, translating, studying flashcards, helped a lot. And that's why when I find a person who says, I wish I could learn English, Spanish, or any other language, but I am not good at learning languages, I just want to tell them that story. And actually I do. I tell them how I learned a language and how I was the worst student in my class. So the thing is, if I could learn the language, you can. Everybody can. You just need to find something, a method that works for you. And after that, just to be constant. You have to practice, even if it is a little bit every day. But constant, in this case, is key. So if you are one of those persons saying, I wish I could learn, but I am not good at languages, remember this story. And 100% I'm sure you can. So just start. And after some time, you're going to start seeing some results and you will love it. You will have the motivation to keep doing that. And eventually you will be speaking the language you want to. And well, that's my story with English. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed listening to this story. If you have any questions or if you want to share your own experience at learning a language, the comment area is all yours. I will be happy to read what you have to say. And that's all for today. Thank you again for watching this video, and I will see you again, if not next week, probably in 2 weeks. So have a good week and see you. Bye.